Disney never learns, y'all. The Little Mermaid, not the animated one, the live action one that came out in 2023 with Halle Bailey, made $569.6 million global dollars against a $250 million budget. And that is probably being generous somewhere along the way. The marketing budget was reportedly $140 million, which means that if that film actually broke even, I certainly am skeptical of that, then it barely did. Barely. And this is Disney's like flagship, most recent, crazy, expensive live action adaptation of one of their animated classics. And boy, howdy, are we getting another one. See, the challenge for Disney is making something that people actually want to watch, which they just can't seem to do these days. And I think that there's good reason for that. It's because they're just pumping out garbage, film after film, not caring about the characters, not caring about the writing, not caring even about the world building and the lore that they're creating with some of these characters, or just straight up rehashing, which is the case of this movie that we're going to be talking about. For example, the 1994 Lion King is incredible because back then, that animation for the time was still cutting edge and really, really fantastic. Not only that, you pair that with really solid voice acting, an incredible score by Hans Zimmer, and all of this is original back then. This has not been done before. This is not something that people remembered fondly, and Disney was like, oh, what if we just like repackage it a little bit and make it this new thing, which is what they did with the 2019 Lion King. Now, that reimagined version of the animated Lion King from 1994 did gross over $1 billion at the box office. This is pre that thing that happened in 2020, and it's also something that, like, people just love Lion King and have forever. So you've got a movie that at the time that the live action remake came out is almost 20 years old. Excuse me, almost 30 years old. That movie's 30 years old this year. Whew. But that movie only did as well as it did because it's essentially a shot-for-shot remake of the original, but without any of the charisma of the characters from the 1994 film. The animals can't emote. They made them live-action animals. Make no mistake, that movie is still all CG and animated. It's just, it looks real to our eye, our brain, whatever you want to call it. It's not live action. They obviously can't get Simba to run after Nala in the jungle, or get Timon and Pumbaa to not get eaten by Simba. Neither here or there. The point is, the movie made money because it's reliant on something old that people love. And no matter how stacked your A-list cast is for these new versions of things, your brain can't separate the fact that you're fighting yourself kind of the whole time. And I know that this isn't something that maybe everyone goes through. This may be something that it's just a me thing. I don't know. But whenever I'm watching one of these live action remakes, the whole time I'm thinking about the animated version of that film, right? So your brain is fighting with itself. You've got this thing that you love from forever ago and this new thing that's in front of you, and they're sort of walking parallel, except at certain moments they'll just kind of do like, and you're like, why are we doing this? What's going on here? Why this is not correct. This is not correct. Which brings us to Mufasa, the Lion King. I'm just going to start talking about this part by asking this simple question. Who asked, dude? Who wanted this? Was it you? Did you want this? You're wrong. We didn't need this, dude. We didn't. Sorry. Watching the trailer for this movie just looks like a jumbled CGI mess. No care was put into this. No one thought about... It's the Ian Malcolm thing, it's the...
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
And I know that this is just a teaser, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing going on here that makes sense cohesively as a story. Let me just read you the tagline from IMDb real fast. Simba, having become king of the Pride Lands, is determined for his cub to follow in his paw prints, while the origins of his late father Mufasa are explored. So the whole movie is a flashback for a character that we already have seen twice. Once in the original that everyone loves, and once in that live action one. I think we know everything we need to know about Mufasa. He was a very good ruler, he loved his wife, he loved his people, and he loved his son enough to die for him. And what's more noble than that? We've got it, man. And he's voiced by James Earl Jones both times. We're good. We're chilling on Mufasa, dog. And since that 2019 remake of Lion King isn't as good as the original, this definitely won't be as good as the original, or even as good as the 2019 one. At least the 2019 one has some semblance of the same story, right? This is what like Lion King 2 tried to do, and take it in a kind of a new direction, kind of push it forward, except we're not pushing forward here. We're just looking back at Mufasa. So why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? Come on, guys, I'm listening. I'm waiting to hear. Money! You got it, money. Disney wants your money because they are really hurting right now, especially when it comes to their films. All the money that they're making from their theme parks going into these $200, $300 million movies that are crashing at the box office. And it has to stop, right? At some point, we have to stop doing stuff like this. I can't even begin to tell you guys how much I love Disney. I was just there 2 weeks ago. Have a video about it if you want to check it out. It's a lot of fun, right? Like Disney as a company, as a brand, is a lot of fun. They have so many cool properties. What with their original properties, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, whatever, Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, you name it. All those classics, right, that we all grew up with. I say all grew up with. Like, you know, if you're a 90s kid or an early 2000s kid or whatever, you know, you grew up with some Disney stuff. We all watched it, right? But now they've got Marvel and Star Wars too, which those are completely separate topics for a different day. It all still holds up in some fashion because of what it once was. But where we're at now, this thing that we're doing, this thing that Disney is doing rather, is just not cool, man. Like, why are we doing it? I'll give you my money. And in fact, I'll be happy to give you my money. I'll be happy to give you my money multiple times over, like I just did with Dune. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go see it twice, 3 times even, if it's awesome, if it's cool. Just make cool stuff, dude. It's not that hard. And dear viewer, I hear you. If you want good Lion King content, obviously you can watch that original. But if you're going to the theme parks soon, which you should, the theme parks are still fun. I know that there's a lot of up and down with how the parks are and their current state and all these sorts of things, right? I was just there. We had a blast. It was one of the most fun Disney trips I've ever had in my life. There's still things to be done there. If you want some good Lion King content, you can go watch Festival of the Lion King at Animal Kingdom. Maybe go, ride a Banshee on Flight of Passage. Maybe go see if you can find the Yeti on Expedition Everest. And then, dip on over. It's a 30-minute show. It's incredible. They do it right. So it's not that even Disney is incapable of making good Lion King stuff. It's just like, why beat a dead horse, man? It's that age-old question, right? It also makes me sad because the first few live-action adaptations of these animated classics weren't terrible. That Cinderella one was cool. The Jungle Book was cool. And then somewhere along the way, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, it started to lose it. They started realizing, people are going to show up for these no matter what. So why don't we just care about them a little less? Like, we'll just hire people that look the part, like set dress everything pretty decent, and then call it a day, right? That's all that we really need to do. Throw in the classic songs, all the stuff. Remember this? Yay, fun. But there's no stakes there, right? There's no actual creativity going on at that point. You're just literally making something in live action that's already been done. And it's your own stuff, too. Look, you guys, this movie's probably going to suck. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's probably going to suck. People are probably still going to go watch it. Heck, I'm probably still going to go watch it too, just to see how bad it is. But if I can challenge you and leave you with one thing today, it's this. Don't settle on this content, guys. Let them know when it's bad. Call a spade a spade. They make bad stuff right now. There's a lot of people that don't make bad stuff right now. In fact, I feel like I've seen more good stuff than bad stuff this year. And that's sick. I'm so excited that we're getting movies that are being made by producers, directors, writers, creatives that care about what they're making. And it's evident. You can tell when someone, even if the movie isn't like stellar, you can still tell if they care about the product that they're making, which in this case is movies, right? And I think that Disney just along the way has forgotten to care about their stuff. Now, I do want to juxtapose this by saying that I have watched a piece of Disney content, new Disney content lately that has been outstanding, and I don't understand how, like, it's as good as it is. I don't know. But X-Men 97 on Disney Plus. If you like Marvel, like X-Men, grew up watching that original show, and you haven't checked it out, my goodness, it is worth checking out. But I'm going to leave you guys with all of that. Just you know, watch this trailer if you haven't already. I'm not going to show it here because they'll flag me for it, unfortunately. But that's all I've got for you today. I'm really trying to grow this channel right now. If you could, comment, like, sub if you haven't subbed, please, for the love of everything. I really appreciate it. Okay, kiss, kiss. Have a good day. Goodbye.